Season 4 of Call of Duty Modern Warfare launched on June 11th, but due to a misjudgment by Infinity Ward, Plunder did not appear in the online playlist at the start of the season. In its place was a new controversial multiplayer mode called Warzone Rumble, which ultimately became little more than a sniper's playground. The public outcry on the internet was deafening, and Infinity Ward responded by promising Plunder would return soon. We got our first chance to play Plunder in Season 4 a week later on June 18th. At first glance, our Season 4 stats for Plunder are pretty acceptable, what with multiple first-place finishes and nearly 3/4 of the runs being in the top 10. What's more impressive, and you really have to go back to our first week of the season to see how it all began, is our slow but steady growth to a first-place duo as the weeks progress.
There's two dudes here. Alright, they're dead.
Good.
Oh, there's your lumberjack guy.
Yeah, kill him.
Enemy soldier incoming. I got him.
Nice.
Alright, well this one's a bust, but I got you, Vengeance.
And I got a bunch of money from... Whoa! Ah!
I saw that happen.
Sure, we only ranked in the top 10 less than half the time during that first session, but the third of those runs were in the top 5. Our first number 1 finishes came in Session 3, and while it was a shorter session with just 8 runs that night, a third of those runs were top 5 finishes, with 2 first-place finishes.
He's hiding in this elevator. Oh, that was easy.
Bounty target is down. Well done.
The next few nights showed impressive growth, with Session 5 being a night where we were unranked just once, but it wouldn't be until 3 nights later in Session 8 where we would enjoy our next first place finish.
I got him. He just stood in the room and let me RPG him.
We paid our dues in the following session when we saw our top 10 rankings fall to 38%, meaning we were unranked more than half the night. But we made up for it in Session 10 by rebounding to 67% top 10 rankings for the night. It was also the first time we began tracking the overtime clock to see just how long regulation play was lasting. The shortest game of the night that night only lasted 6 minutes before overtime kicked in.
Secure all cash you find.
Already.
Well, that was the fastest one tonight.
Things really turned around for us mid-season in Session 11 when we enjoyed 3 first-place finishes in the same night, with 85% of our runs finishing in the top 10.
Oh yeah!
That's a win. Top all the scores are made and paid for.
Yes! Nice! 1.7.
The hot streak continued into the following session with another first-place finish, and then, without warning, it happened.
Mission accomplished. All targets eliminated. They picked the wrong fight. Well done. That's a win. Proper job.
That's nice.
Primary objective complete. Good work out there. Mission accomplished.
5 first-place finishes, nearly all in a row, in one night, with 93% of the runs in the top 10, 86% in the top 5, and only 1 run unranked. Exactly 1 month into Season 4, and we were now seeing the kind of performance from our duo that made us a threat to the competition. And the winning continued into Session 14.
There it is, baby.
And Session 15. And Session 16.
Nice.
And Session 17.
First place.
And in the final night of our Season 4 play, the winning continued until the end of Session 18.
That's all you, brother.
On July 31st, our last session of Season 4 saw every run finishing in the top 10, 78% in the top 5, and 3 more first-place finishes. Even our last game of the season was a last-minute first-place steal in the final moments of the game.
There's first right there.
Reviewing the totals for the season, our fierce duo ran 194 games, where we finished 70% of the time in the top 10, nearly 44% at top 5, and more than 11% in first place. And we were unranked in less than 30% of the season. Overall, when we ranked in the top 10, we averaged a finishing rank of 4.74 for Season 4, a performance we believe deserves some commendations. We got a lot of runs in Season 4, and while we saw our nights of ups and downs, one thing is clear when you look at the stats. We definitely made progress as a duo, and going into Season 5, Ralph and I are definitely a threat to all the jerkies we come across in the Warzone. Now we just need to see Plunder Duos come into the playlist. Hey, thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to drop in and spend some time with me. If you haven't already, please take a moment to become a member of the squad by subscribing to this channel. That way you won't miss a thing.